£5.70p. I was only going from Leicester to Liverpool Lime Street. I ended up jam-packed in the bike compartment of the train like a sardine. I asked myself, is this what it means to be fast and free? I'm sure they promised us privatised public services would boost the economy, but I tell you what I see. I see you and me getting sold out to the corporate machine. We've got politicians accepting corporate hospitality in return for governmental policy that benefits multinational companies. So now we've got British companies owned by people in Germany. We've got Spain creating monopolies, dominating public service economies in Latin America. I thought the West was supposed to give up our colonial ties. I thought to the empires of old, we waved bye-bye. Hell, they made the UK give up theirs after the Second World War. What was that for? So the EU can screw them over with their leading world economy turnover. The little farmers in the APC, they haven't got a chance against the big three, thanks to the EU's common agricultural policy that gives out fancy farming subsidies. So now the French can make a million types of cheese that no one buys, and even the Queen gets in on the freebies and gets cash for owning half the country. This glorious European community, not a hint of capitalist critique. It just contrives to do over you and me. I think we need to move away from America, their ideology, rationale and market perspective, sanity they seem to have neglected. Our economy's strong, but we don't belong in a suicidal trade regime. They won't trade dollars for more trees. They refuse to develop sustainable technologies. They just want to drill for oil in Arctic seas and start pointless wars far overseas and intervene where ain't their beeswax. Remember when they blagged Tony Blair to use our tax to kill a bunch of innocent people in Iraq, cause a bloody civil war, blah, blah, and then just bring our boys back. But don't worry, Tony Blair's finished now. He's nice and relaxed, living off his corporate payoffs and buying mansions down south. We gave him the mandate, we put him in charge. Our faith in our beloved democracy was large. Next thing you know, he's been bought off by the CIA. Let's save the day. Let's even blag they got WMDMAs. Well, you should know, because you sold them, the bastards. Tony Blair, you talk shit about Lazarus. Middle East envoy might ask you go where you're sent by the corporate masters to make things look good. They pay you in cash. But what can I do? I'm just a consumer. If I go against hegemony, I'll be labelled a loner, so I just watch Matt Damon and pretend he can act. I buy the daily paper to see if his love life's still intact. I don't protest anymore like we did with the poll tax when the government tried to axe off some more of our freedoms and cash. Because that's what we need. The protest in the streets is the only way to be heard by the government machine and the sneering bureaucracy that lurks behind the scenes trying to divert public money away from its needs. They don't want to know where we think they're going wrong, but burn down his plush office, they'll start hearing our song. I don't want to be owned by corporations. I want to live with thought and motivation and live in a world where we help needy brothers without reservations, because for years we've had patience with our supernatural national creations that have just overseen the united economic devastation of nations and deal with the situation by making false proclamations to the impoverished nations they put in the situation. Only by leading through demonstration in the way we balance our world interrelations does our world have a chance of finding salvation and bringing prosperity to all of its nations. But don't hold your breath, because in the meantime, there's no arbitration, no trade regulation, just the chronic manipulations of the imperial infestations, and they got the cheek to tell me it's Islam and Chinese communism that are causing sensations. £25.70p. I was only going from Leicester to Liverpool Lime Street, ended up banging on about the corporate machine.